Norment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Speaking to the motion.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. As I reflect on 2010, it occurs to me that this is the beginning of a new legislative year. It is certainly also the beginning of a new legislative decade. Consequently, I'd like to start off with three positive observations. First of all, Mr. President, following the special elections, ecumenically, I extended to both of our new senators, the junior senator from Virginia Beach and the senator from Western Fairfax County, and extended to them a welcome to the Senate of Virginia from those of us who happen to sit on this side. And I shared with them, and particularly the senator from Western Fairfax, that he might find the atmosphere somewhat different in this body than where he had previously served, that generally speaking, we are a body of collegiality. So I did start out with that positive observation, but I did not observe either to the senator from Western Fairfax or the junior senator from Virginia Beach that this was not a partisan body, and that there were partisan moments, and such is where we find ourselves this morning. The second positive observation that I would like to share is that I would like to extend to my Democratic friends my appreciation for the courtesy in providing me with at least an advance working copy of the committee assignments. Also, on a positive note, I'd like to express my appreciation for honoring my request on Friday to carry this matter over to today. The third positive observation is that I am positively disappointed at the structure of this new committee arrangement. I am disappointed, but not to the extent of engaging in extensive demagoguery. It might make good press. It also will be changing absolutely nothing. And those of you who have known me for years realize that the fire in my belly is diminishing rapidly. And that's why many of you refer to me as Senator Cream Puff now. But I would say the pragmatism is that even if I rail, it is not going to change a thing. I appreciate from a pragmatic standpoint that there are 22 Democrats and 18 Republicans in this body today. I would further say on reflection, when I hear overtures about collaboration and working together, that I reflect back to some other times. And I reflect back that where we in this body, through a bipartisan groups, were able to function as the keel of government when the tensions existed between the legislative and the executive branch, and that in spite of some rather politically unpopular votes that we may have taken at times, that we maintained an equilibrium within this state. I further share with you that coming into this session, everyone in this body knew that the most critical and pressing issue that we were going to be dealing with is the budget. And we also are perfectly aware, as of December the 18th, of Governor Kane's vision of the budget and the immediate reaction of our friends at the other end of the Capitol. And there were discussions about congealing and coming together in collaboration and working cooperatively to try to fashion on a bipartisan basis, starting with the Senate Finance Committee and coming on this floor, a different form of a budget. I'm very mindful, and some of you in the room are not mindful, that when this Committee on Committee Reports was put together, that there were those who looked at 2001 as a baseline. 2001, we were still coming off and transitioning from a power sharing arrangement, and I suggest to you, if you truly want an accurate reflection of a committee on committee reports, look at 2004, when the folks on this side had 24 senators and the folks on the other side had 16 senators. And I would remind you that if we read the rule, which Senator Andrews always reminded me to do, starting in January of 1992 in that corner where the junior senator from Virginia Beach now sits, Tommy, read the rules. Actually, there is some reference in the rules to proportionality. And I suggest to you that the proportionality in this committee on committee reports is upside down by 6 or 7 positions. I ask you to contrast that with 2004, when we were at 24, where the committee on committees report was 2/3 of one position. 2/3 of one position that the Republicans took on the committee on committee reports, and that was done only because we didn't know how to split one committee seat, so we took 0.6667 of one position, and that was as close to proportionality as we could achieve. I am positively disappointed, but I have no choice, just as my friends on the other side of the aisle have had no choice in the past but to accept the rule of 21 in this body. And while out of pragmatism, I must accept it, it doesn't mean that I have completely absorbed it. It doesn't mean that I have completely digested it. And it doesn't mean that it will quickly vaporize from my memory. So I say to all here, we know this committee on committee reports will be adopted, but I suggest to you seizing 6 seats, disenfranchising from the Senate Finance Committee for the first time in the modern history of Virginia, the largest city in Virginia, is just not right. But right doesn't always make good politics. So I suggest to you that while I am positively disappointed, and I will accept it, it does seem a little counterintuitive to me to reach out and say, let's embrace on a bipartisan basis where we're going this year. And by the way, we're going to purloin 6 positions. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.